How do you feel the year has gone, just in general? Has it been what you expected it to be?
It's been a very weird year. I mean, obviously, from a union point of view, with the rebuild, this is a completely unique year, and the union's never had a year like this before, and it's been incredibly exciting. Some of the things, like as I said, particularly with the rebuild, for example, the new venues, how we're going to theme and colour them, that kind of thing. You know, being able to do that at this age, having just graduated, and make those sort of long-term commercial decisions has been absolutely fascinating. I've been pretty pleased with how the year's gone so far from a professional point of view. I think that there's a high degree of awareness with students about the rebuild, I would feel personally. The only trouble is perhaps that's been quite good, but obviously it's been so busy this year. I perhaps haven't had the time to pursue personal projects to the same degree that I'd liked. I've still got a few things in the pipeline that hopefully are going to be worked on in Easter in term 3. But on the whole, yeah, I've had a fantastic year. We've all gotten really well as a team. The staff in the union are fantastic, and in general, I'm pretty pleased. Yeah.
You just said there you've got your own personal projects. Do you feel as if you will be able to achieve everything you set out to achieve?
I do. Yes. The one thing that I'm really keen to do is I feel that at the moment our communication with students is somewhat one way, as in we're okay, we're not bad, there's still room for improvement, but we're pretty decent at informing students what's going on with the communication tools we've developed. Or perhaps not so good at is the other way, the other direction of communication, so consulting students. Again, we're not awful on that. I get a lot of student feedback, both by email and anecdotally. I'm always going out there trying to listen to what students are telling me, get their opinions, get their thoughts. But again, there's definitely room for improvement.
What do you think your biggest achievements has been over the year?
Yeah, sure. Biggest achievement? I think one of the things I'm extremely proud of is the new union rebrand. It's really brought the Students' Union into the 21st century, I feel. It's really, in general, the rebuild. Obviously, all the SABs are directors of the union, they're trustees, and so we have quite a lot of responsibility for the union rebuild, and seeing this rebuild coming along, seeing it on time and on budget, has been a fantastic achievement as far as I'm concerned, and so I'm extremely pleased.
So what's your biggest disappointment?
My biggest disappointment? I don't know. I mean, in some ways, the rebuild, although it has made the year incredibly exciting, it has been in some ways it's been a little bit frustrating that that things aren't the same as they were in previous years. I think that we've really pulled out all the stops to provide services for students, and I think on the whole we've done a pretty good job. But it's a shame to see students going elsewhere. Obviously they do anyway, but it's a shame that we can't perhaps provide the perfect service for students. We have, as I said, really made an effort with the tests, with the temporary outlets. But in some ways, these particular tests, it wasn't perfect. Let's be totally honest, it wasn't perfect. And yeah, so but although that's been disappointing, what's equally as important is the excitement that I feel about the new venue opening in term 3, and indeed the whole rebuild of Freshers 2009. And I really do think that they're going to make it more than worth it, these developments, in terms of the setbacks. So yeah.
If you'd been a fresher this year,
right, okay,
how do you think you'd have felt about having the test as sort of the #1 venue?
Yeah, sure. I think it's a good question actually. It's quite a new perspective on it that I haven't really been asked before, so I like that. I think the test, it's definitely served a purpose, and to be honest, I've had some really good nights in there. I really have. In some ways, a lot of the problems with the old union building, for example, the fact that the dance hall was incredibly cramped. I don't know if for anyone who's not a fresher remember, the old marketplace dance hall wasn't much bigger than a couple of these offices. It was tiny. And so everyone being so cramped up on the dance floor there was a pain. The bar queues, although they weren't ideal in the test, they were a lot bigger in the old union building. So some of those problems were eliminated, and so that in that sense it was good. I didn't feel that it had the best atmosphere in the world, no. Although in some ways it isn't ideal. I think people did appreciate it, and it's interesting, I did a website poll on the test about how people were feeling about it going, and the results were very mixed actually. Some people said it's the best news ever, some people said they're going to be absolutely gutted.
The issue of student apathy is
coming
back. Do you think that you've adequately addressed that?
I don't think I've addressed it now. I think improvements have been made. The obvious thing is the turnouts in elections and whatnot. In the referendum we saw a record turnout in the history of Warwick in terms of the numbers voting. I think there's certainly a lot more that can be done. I still think that our democratic structures there's a lot of people quite inaccessible. And I think however much you promote them, there is still an issue of confusion. Just at the EGM the other day, I mean, a lot of people turned up, and were quite bewildered by all the procedure and the way that the debate worked. And I just think there's a lot of that is quite confusing. And it is quite accessible, but I think it's getting better. I mean, the board this year have been doing a lot of reporting with Union Council, for example, which I'm really pleased about.
What about the relationship between the union and the university? Do you think that it's an important relationship?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Warwick's quite unique and quite lucky in that we do have a really good relationship with the university, and we're renowned for that. We're renowned for that throughout the sector, throughout the students in the sector, and a lot of unions are quite rightly jealous of our position, because it allows us to get a lot done. It really does. Just to give a couple of examples, print and paper cover sheets, they've all been removed this year, simply as a matter of a short conversation between the President and the Director of IT Services, they're gone, that's it. And so it's a really good platform to win change for students and what they want. And so I think that relationship's a good thing, and it's as good this year as it ever has been in the past. And with the Freshers Week example, we're making a lot of progress on that now, and the approach we've taken has been very much consultative with different university departments and the university senior managers, and that kind of consultative approach, which we were able to do as a result of our relationship, means that we're incredibly hopeful that we're going to be able to achieve that.
So how would you mark yourself out of 10?
I don't think it's fair to give a mark out of 10.
Oh, go on.
I will if you want. Well, as I said, I've been pleased with the way things have gone with the rebuild. I've been pleased with the democratic turnout. I've been pleased with the bus companies. I've achieved a lot, I think, but equally there are some things that I haven't been. For example, as personal projects, I'm still looking to kind of make real progress on a lot of them. Although a lot of them I have made progress on. I think overall, 6 or 7 is probably fair, because there's always room to improve at the end of the day. There's always room to improve and better yourself.
What would your advice be to any incoming communications officers?
Any incoming, so they've been elected, right?
Yeah,
Well, they've been elected. Be prepared for extremely long hours, I would say that first of all. Keep your office tidy, I would say that to them too. And in general, just enjoy it is what I'd say. It is hard work, it is tough, but you learn so much from being a sabbatical, obviously, you really do. And I think what's really important is just to spend as much time as possible out there talking to students, because it is, I think, as a sabbatical, quite easy to become disconnected from the student body, because you're working here for sort of 10-12 hours a day most days, and it is easy to kind of not spend that time out there talking to students. That's one thing I've been really keen to do this year: attend as many events as possible, not just for fun, to get out there, show my face, get talking to students. And I think that's really key. So it's really important that comms officers do that, and all staffs in general.